cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them. Kind of chalice. Things are not looking good. Arkham editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard. How many volumes are there? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Queen has little protection. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? The Queen has little protection.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect
the Queen
our
has
White
little
Queen
protection.
from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
The Chalice of Knowledge. Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that... What did Drake say about this? Drake talked about a particular volume.
開いたよ。ねえ。開いた。てかまた病院行くの。嫌だー。
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Very well. I'll examine him. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arm...
Yes. They can't have decalcified.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, what about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch.
Look at these sticky rings growing...
I'm sure you'll find an
I almost don't believe it myself.
What do you mean?
No. This poor man is from our... And this transformation...
Where could he have got...
I pray that it...
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate... I've done to him what I do to all my patients.
Your imagination is without limit.
There, there.
These are alarming.
Do you believe that? I even think this man has a strong chance.
No, Doctor. This patient...
Really?
He's changing.
Fascinating. Your reaction does. I know it's your innocent worry.
For this man, and the other...
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world...
I will not let you...
You disappoint me, Marie. But in the meantime, take care of your own patients and...
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller, my word is of no weight against his.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there...
Oh, that evidence. I need to find them.
And where would you find those?
I'd rather not think about that.
Of course, Doctor.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects. Chronic insomnia, like half the island. This place draws you in and never lets you go. The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair. Because, as always, and the water was I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her...
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask...
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked, so every time the water gets shut off...
I see. Courage.
Thank you, Doc. Everything all right?
All is well.
Thank God.
Come now. Don't...
I'm trying, Doctor. I'm trying. Sometimes I imagine she shuts down...
Courage, a little.
Thank you, Doc. Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do. I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's... Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Doctor, but rest assured.
That won't be
I will tell him.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation. This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Dr. Colden, we need you at...
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be...
I'll see to it.
And the family...
I'll never understand why it's so hard.
Rules are rules. Anyhow, they're still waiting.
Understood.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Oh.
You should go...
Ethan,
Marie,
what are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medic.
You're not here for treatment.
Am I so...
Only to me. I know you worry about me. Me too, Ethan.
Well...
Tell me.
I have nightmares. It seems stupid, I know, but...
Actually...
No. No one has ever seen the things. It's like I'm turned...
So many people... It's like a...
Do you...
I don't know yet. Everyone in Dark...
Really?
We don't have any...
Oh.
Take care, Ethan.
You too.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but...
Dr. Colden. Do you want something? I think that you're needed in Block B, Doctor.
Intoxication from breathing organic vapors. The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait. She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable, but Fuller was able to save her kidney. He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking? Yes, it's Dr.
It's the old whale.
The one that hides the smoke.
Oh no, not them. Everyone in his place. The captain and me.
What did you...
Nothing. Nothing at all.
And that's how you...
Perhaps.
Why did nobody tell me about her admission? Mrs. Sanders?
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's...
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan?
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while.
And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show. Dr. Colden?
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
Gentlemen, may I...
We're waiting on news regarding... She came in with a kidney...
I've tended to her. Her blood analysis is...
Are you talking of...
She's still recovering.
Oh, thank you. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been...
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory. Please. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. Doctor, those people...
I'll tend to it.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. White froth, evidently because of such drooling.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Those basement brutes tied him up too.
I keep trying to heal it.
Do you have a diploma?
Excuse?
So take care of... Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
What a pest. It's so unfair.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly. I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool. We're running out of this.
I know, Doctor. We sent the...
Once.
Can't you do...
Donovan takes her instructions to... The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high. I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
Dr. Colden,
I was about to mention it.
I can't.
It's not your fault.
And yet, courage.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly. It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
Mrs. Donovan?
I'm busy. Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. But it's about the water.
What now?
It's off. It's not my fault.
Nothing is ever your fault. I told you to control the flow. Even if I know it's not your strong point.
I've apologized 1,000 times.
I haven't counted that many, but then unlike you, I don't have time to keep track.
Please, Mrs. Donovan. I'm grateful to you for having kept me on despite that incident. I just need the water to be put back on. Otherwise, the bathroom will quickly become a nest of germs.
Oh, very well. I'll finish what I'm doing, and then I'll fix your blunders once more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Out of my sight. Go chatter with your colleagues. That's what you do best.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here. Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something. Patient files. I was right.
Conclusions, session number 17. Patient, Sarah Hawkins. The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusory nature of what she calls the mythos. It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the price that comes with her exceptional gifts.
Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
At first, I presumed that her blood was the key. But I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
Then James came, irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Why is Ethan on medication? Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection. I must go back to the basement.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could come. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief! Or I swear I'll shoot!
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles.
He's...
No.
Oh.
The book.
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
Now you won't be able to escape his... What did it show you?
She went into... She was looking for...
Sarah Hawkins. Let's go back to the start. Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait. No one knows the occult better than me. You might need...
All right. All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Now go!
Thank you, Drake. I pray that Colden is really here and alive.